Damn. Wii Sports, a game franchise that created new fans of Nintendo and killed new fans of Nintendo. Wii Sports and its many sequels were the defining kings of the living room for the respective years. They revolutionized using motion controls in video games as simple as they were. And games that use motion controls nowadays can thank this game for just setting an example. It's a good role model. So I hope you're not sick of Wii Sports, because we're going over every Wii Sports sport and ranking them from the worst of the worst to the best of the best. Now, I would like to admit that this is based on my experience. Trust me, I've seen the videos. I have some pretty spicy takes. Not really, but it does get a little bit spicy. Like, on a Scoville scale, it's like a hot Cheeto, but with like no dust on it whatsoever. So if you disagree with me and love club boxing, then what? You fucking like that shit? I was originally gonna split every sport up and get the true grasp into each mode, because, you know, 3-point contest is not the same as pickup game and basketball. But I decided to simplify it because, hey, it's every sport, not every activity. So, and if you like this video, let me know. I'd love to do more of these type of videos with Wii's Play mini games, Wii Fit mini games, or even Wii music instruments. So with that said, let's get into the worst sport in the entire Wii Sports series. At last place, and certainly least 30th place, is club boxing. Out of all the sports here, this is the only one I would actually deem horrible. The other 29 sports, yeah, I can see the appeal for it. I can see people having fun with it. Hell, I've had fun at least once with the latter sports. But club boxing is a sport that I don't think a single person can call their favorite, nor even like. Boxing in OG Sports was so good. It wasn't the most responsive gameplay-wise, but when it worked, it worked. There was so much energy in the original boxing that made it feel so exciting and thrilling. Getting punches in felt so rewarding, and dodging last minute gave you the slow-mo effect that was super satisfying to get. I know the OG boxing had its issues, especially with the nunchuck motion controls being garbage most of the time, but you barely noticed it because of the game's pacing and overall energy. The adrenaline rush of dodging the opponent's attack and throwing punches yourself made any problem with the game go away. Like drugs. Club boxing is a slow and clunky version of that. The fact this requires 2 motion plus remotes, when the original, might I add, without a singular motion plus remote and a damn nunchuck, felt more natural? I think there's an issue here, and it's definitely not the visuals, even though they're fucking boring as shit. Every punch you throw just kind of halts everything, and it just makes everything feel like a chore to play. It's kind of baffling how this turned out. It's nearly shovelware game quality bad. It's on the same fucking quality as Game Party. 29th place, Club Golf. I'll be a little biased here because I genuinely just don't like golf and Wii Sports in general. I think it's slow, the controls just don't really feel right most of the time, and Club Golf is just the worst of it. I originally used to love the idea of using the gamepad on the floor to get a close-up of the ball, but it doesn't enhance the gameplay and actually just worsens it in a way. Keeping an eye on the ball down there and the screen up there to get the best shot is just so irritating, and it throws me off because I'm trying to get the straightest shot down here on the gamepad. Well, I need to check the wind current and map on the TV. It just makes the game overly complicated, and it tries so damn hard to incorporate more gamepad function into the game and give that Wii U trailer an actually real game. It creates a problem that never existed and tries to solve it, but overcomplicates it, which isn't a problem exclusive to this game, and it's just an overall problem with the Wii U, but I think it's one of the worst cases of it, and I couldn't think of anything else, so it is the worst case of it. Oh, wait, hold on, I got one more. Star Fox Zero, that's the worst one. 28th, Switch Soccer. You know, I'll be honest here, it's not as bad as I remembered it being, and that shootout mode is actually kind of fun. But the main soccer board is sort of boring. I think simplifying soccer to be a Wii Sports sport is totally doable. Basketball is a similarly more complex sport to make, and they did it flawlessly. But soccer in Switch Sports is just a slower and boring version of Rocket League. Take a shot every time you fucking hear that. You run around a soccer field with a big-ass soccer ball, and to kick the ball, you swing the Joy-Con. You can dive to move both Joy-Cons and press plus and minus to quit and select a better sport in the package. The base running speed in this game is so damn slow, and the added run button just makes you go the speed you should be going originally. It's just so damn tedious, and half the game feels like the ball chilling in one area, and everyone just taking a leisurely stroll to push it into the opponent's goal. It's not bad, it's just Wii Sports was always known for taking these sports that were once complex and simplifying to work with this little swing of the remote. Adding actual joystick movement into the game kind of just goes against that. It's not that it was an added role or anything, it's just how I feel, okay? 27th, Wii Golf. Again, it's biased because I'm not a fan of golf. Out of the OG 5 sports, this is definitely the weakest. All the sports have insane replayability, but golf just doesn't. Its training modes are sort of fun, but they lose their merit very quickly after you're done playing. But things work fine here. I'll give them that. It's really easy to fuck up a golf game, and I mean it. It's really fucking easy. And even if I did like it, Resort Golf has every course from this game remade on top of brand new ones, so playing this version's only really useful if you're ranking every Wii sport. Wait! 26, Resort Golf. You know what? I kind of like this version. Nothing crazy, it's more of the same, but the controls are much better than the OG Golf by a long shot, and it kind of just improves everything. It has its own courses on top of every course from Wii Sports, meaning this is probably the definitive version of the sport. Honestly, I'd put it higher on the list, but I just never get the urge to ever replay this one unless the demons. 25th, canoeing. Honestly, I don't get the hate for this one. I never really tried it out, but honestly, now that I tried it out, I kind of like it. Yeah, compared to every other sport here, it's probably the most lacking, but gameplay-wise, it's pretty solid. It controls and works extremely well. It's just the mode itself's kind of lackluster. It's a one and done type ordeal. There's really no reason to play it over something like power cruising or power cruising. The free canoeing mode's actually pretty fun, but if you're gonna play a free mode in one of the many water games on Wii Sports, then just play free cruise and power cruising. Or just play power cruising. 24th, resort archery. I never expected this game to be this slow, but hey, whatever. There's probably a reason, right? I think if golf was never added to resort, which it was originally not going to be, but Miyamoto envisioned a little naive boy like me hating the fuck out of it, so you might as well add it. But if there was no golf, hypothetically, this would be the golf of Wii Sports Resort. It does everything you expect out of a Wii Sports version of archery. It's just kind of boring. It's fun that first time, and then afterwards, it just gets progressively more boring, and it's probably the game I spend the least amount of time replaying other than golf. My mom used to fucking love this one, though. 23rd, Switch Volleyball. I used to be very critical on this one. By critical, I mean I used to fucking hate this game. I thought it was a very poor and automated mess of a game, but how else were they gonna fucking do it? Volleyball isn't just a simple tennis with your hands game like people think of it. You have different roles on your team. You have to find the right time to spike it. It's harder to translate to the simple nature of Wii Sports than one might think. And yeah, it's automated to shit. It couldn't be more simple as serve, pass, spike. I think the game should have given you more control with passing and spiking, but truth be told, it's not as bad as people say it is, and I'd rather play it than most of the sports that were already mentioned, so yeah. 22nd, Switch Shambara. It's really hard to say, so try and say that 5 times. Switch Shambara, Switch Shambara, I remember seeing this as a returning sport only by name, and it took me a good day to realize that it was just swordplay with less lightsabers. My opinion on this sport? Well, hold on, my buddy K just did some tomfoolery. Let me react to that first. Okay. I can't really lower this ranking because it doesn't really do anything abhorrently worse than swordplay. It's just boring to think about. It's a totally fine inclusion. The new sword types are super cool, and I do like the more strategic approach to the game, basically rewarding you for playing both offense and defense rather than waggling your Wii remote like a crazy lunatic in the original. You still do that in this game, but you just don't get as far. What does it wrong, though? The more cartoony look of swordplay was just better. Big-ass foam armor on top of the toy-ass lightsabers gave this game that charm that Shambara just doesn't have. I guess you could say it doesn't have charm bara. I'm gonna kill myself. And the fact it's only the main duel mode with no speed slice or showdown, it just kind of makes it boring. I loved speed slice and showdown just as much as the main duel mode. They should bring it back when dodgeball gets added. We all know what's happening, so Nintendo, can you add it? Pretty pleased with the big sleeter on top. 21 goes to resort cycling. Cycling's a sport that I enjoy a lot, but it was more or less the versus mode that was the fun of cycling. The main cycling's fine. The energy aspect of it adds a bit of strategy, even though sometimes it's kind of annoying, and the whole going from last to first challenge is pretty good. I just think the other sports are more replayable and engaging. I think the aesthetic alone makes this sport as great as it is. Cycling around, going from last to first, every Mii created a CPU Mii gathering around for this big event on Woohoo Island is just super awesome. But honestly, I'd rather play any of the other sport that rank higher than this one. And to round out that bottom 10, 20th goes to Resort Frisbee. If you asked Sleater before 2023 what they thought of this game, he'd say stuff not allowed on YouTube, but I already say stuff not allowed on YouTube, so it must be bad. But Frisbee's grown on me a little bit. The Frisbee dog game, or whatever the hell it's called, is pretty fun to rack points in and to try and get it in the pink, but Frisbee Golf could have been better. But after the first playthrough, it's just kind of boring. It's a game that's not fun to endlessly replay over and over again, but for a good 10 minutes to rack some high score, it could have been worse. By worse, it could have been bad. 19th, Club Baseball. I really like Club Baseball. I don't think it's as good as the regular baseball, but for what it adds and introduces, it totally gets replay solely for that alone. The batting portion is basically unchanged, however, the Wii Motion Plus just kind of fucks it up. I don't know what it is, it's weird. I don't like it. The pitching was completely overhauled, and it honestly does a damn solid job incorporating that original envision from the trailer, just with better graphics, even if the graphics in Sports Club are not the most appealing thing in the world. By that I mean boring, bland ass, do ass. Pitching in regular baseball was simple yet sort of felt rushed and not as intuitive nor fun to play as batting. But let's be real, who gave a fuck? You were only playing this game to hit some damn baseballs. But I like to have your focus on pitching here. I just think the simplicity of regular baseball is better. 18th, Resort Wakeboarding. I used to love wakeboarding, and I still do. It's a very satisfying game to pull off tricks in and rack up as many points as possible in one go. It's just that's all you can really do. I wish there was more to this game mode because the base of it, it's really fun. It's just unless you're really into racking up a high score, there's really no reason to play this over and over again. It's very much see it, play it, have fun, play air sports. The core of it, damn fun. Just held back from being that core game. 17th, Switch Golf. I actually really like this version of golf, only because the multiplayer is really fun. The main golf itself, best incarnation of golf. It feels better to swing the club, and my fuck-ups actually feel like my fuck-ups, and not just the Wii Remote being a bitch that day. The multiplayer, oh man, it's good. One thing I really like about Switch Sports is those multiplayer modes, like tennis, badminton, Jambara, like they're all very normal multiplayers, but the elimination aspect of golf and bowling are just so much fun. It adds a lot more to the core of a sport itself, and it just makes it a lot more fun. It's kind of like a better version of that one mode in Mario Golf Super Fart or whatever that game was. I kind of forget. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's golf. And before you say, wow, I was expecting this to be higher after you went nuts over it in the last video, to that I say, fuck you, eat shit and die. 16th, Club Tennis. Honestly, I was gonna put this a little higher, but meh. It's some of the best Club has to offer, but like that's not a high bar to pass. It's only the best of Club because it literally does nothing different. The main difference is the direction of the swing's more emphasized. I don't know, I never noticed it in gameplay, but the racket moves when it's idle now, so hip hip hooray. If you like tennis, here you go, happy birthday. 15th, Switch Bowling. Perhaps I was a bit harsh on Switch Bowling. I think out of all the versions of bowling, it's my least favorite to play solely because of the changed physics. It's a lot easier to fuck up a bowl because it takes a simple flick to curve the ball harder than you actually want it to curve. But replaying that multiplayer mode, oh my god, is it good. You have 16 players all bowling at the same time, and it's your goal to be the last bowler standing. It's a lot harder than it looks too, and once you start getting ranked for each sport, it's a damn good challenge because these online players are fucking ruthless. I still need to get used to playing Switch Bowling, but it's definitely better than waiting for someone to finish their turn before you go to your turn. It adds a lot more of a competitive edge to bowling. The base bowling game, there was a reason it was unchanged in every version, and changing it just irks my muscle memory. Also, how the fuck am I not hitting these pins? I literally did the exact same thing the previous freaking 14th, Club Bowling. The last club game on this list. Of course it was going to be bowling. It's unchanged from Resort. It's the exact same thing, just uglier to play. And you can play online, not anymore though. It's only so low because why would you play it other than Resort Bowling? First off, Sports Club's very expensive, and there's no way of getting it digitally without, you know, having a modded Wii U, and then even then you probably don't even have a Wii U unless you were a diehard Nintendo fan. 13th onwards are sports that I deem some of the best in the series, and the worst greatest sport is number 13th, table tennis. As a kid, I thought it was pretty weird that this game was here and not the regular tennis. But that table tennis is actually a lot of fun. It's a little harder to keep the ball on the table than just having a full-on court, and getting faked out by your opponent's a lot easier to be done. I didn't really say that right, but you get my drift. You catch my saying. God damn it, I don't know how to speak. I like it, okay? It's not as good as the real deal. I need tableless tennis. 12th, Resort Power Cruising. Power cruising in real life is so much fun. It really is. And this game just really replicates it so good. It was kind of like canoeing where I never gave it a chance till recently, and yeah, I like it. I love the free cruise mode where you just go along the water. It's like an on-ground version of Island Flyover. However, Island Flyover has the upper hand for just being able to fly over the entire island. Power cruising is limited to the ocean, meaning you can't explore the entire island because dragging a jet ski on land is probably really expensive damage-wise and just not practical. The main mode itself, yeah, of course it's fucking fun. Another simple high score type ordeal where you get points by getting through the rings. You can twist the Wiimote like a handle to get a boost, and you're awarded some points based on how much time's left on each ring timer, so you have to use your boost at the best time you can, but they're really lenient on giving you a damn boost, so. 11, Switch Tennis. I said it before and I say it again, Switch Tennis is probably the best version of tennis in a Wii Sports game. Club Tennis didn't take full advantage of the motion controls, but this version does, and it does it well. Where you hit the ball matters unlike previous entries, and that alone adds a lot more strategy to the sport. It gives it reasons for picking it up rather than just busting out the Wii to play tennis. And speaking of Wii Tennis, number 10 is Wii Tennis. Yeah, I like Switch Tennis more, but honestly, I like the simplicity of normal Wii Sports Tennis more. It's not perfect, nor it's the most intuitive sport in the package, but its pick up and play nature definitely adds to the experience, and it's just too iconic to put it anywhere other than the top 10. Number 9, Switch Badminton. Badminton is one of those sports I actually absolutely dominated in PE, and I get cocky as fuck playing it in PE, knowing full well with my heart I get aired in the actual sport. I love Switch Badminton. I know a lot of people are puzzled they include this in regular tennis at the same time because both are totally different enough to warrant both being here. Badminton's about keeping the ball in the air and using its height of the birdie to hit the birdie as hard and as fast as possible. Hitting it too high doesn't give it enough speed or power, and hitting it low does the same thing. And learning to drop shot at the right time to fake out your opponent, super satisfying to pull off. Tennis is more about making sure you aren't the one breaking the rally, while badminton is more about strategizing when to spike or to drop shot the birdie. I know it's called a shuttle, but I don't gaff. It's called fucking birdie. Number 8, Wii Bowling. Wii Bowling is near fucking perfection. The ball goes exactly where you want it to go, and getting the perfect 300 games is so damn satisfying that when you finally pull it off, it's a game that defined Wii Sports, and is where most families got their fulfillment out of Wii Sports. You get stars on the ball when you hit pro status. Bravo! Number 7, Resort Bowling. Let me take everything I said about Wii Bowling and apply it here, but it's also way better, and I like it more. Wii Bowling knocked out of the park when it came to pretty much everything, but Resort Bowling does it better. And 100-pin bowling being its own mode now is just beautiful. What else can I say about it? It's fucking flawless. Number 6, Wii Boxing. Take everything I said wrong about Wii Sports Club Boxing and just reverse it here. It's so fast-paced, it's so satisfying getting hits, and the slow-mo effect when the opponent nearly misses you, it is so goddamn good. And the fucking results music. I need a remix of that, pretty please, with a bigsleeter on top. I know the nunchuck not being as great motion-wise as the Wiimote does make it kind of a pain to play sometimes, but when it works, it's one of the best sports in Wii Sports ever. It does work so goddamn good, and it sucks the only other time it was featured as a sport in Wii Sports. It's the worst sport to ever be featured in the Wii Sports lineage. Number 5, here it is, Wii Baseball. I used to play baseball, and when I did, I used to practice on this game. It didn't help, but it gave me the love for this game I have now. Wii Sports Baseball was always one of my favorites in the OG5, not because it's flawless gameplay-wise, but it's so chaotic and just straight up fun. It's a game that's so much fun to master, and getting mercy rules against the other team is so much fun to try and do. The only issue is that offense, but I do kind of like the RNG aspect of it. It really adds a lot of tension to the game. I do think Club Baseball does offense better with the gamepad support, but this is the OG version. This is OG Baseball. The one many others grew up with. The club has its own reason to go back to, but that OG one will always be the shining version of Wii Sports Baseball. Number 4, Switch Basketball. You keep this game dormant for nearly 2 years and then come back full damn force. Basketball and Resort knocked it out of the park, simplifying the sport in basketball into a Wii sport, something soccer should have done in Switch Sports. This and the supposed dodgeball game were leaked back when the game was released, but it seemed like for a while the game was dropped after golf and all future plans were scrapped. But now here's basketball 2 years later after the game's nearly forgotten about, and thank God they fucking did. Well, it's not as great as Resort Basketball, and it does make things a little too easy. It's still Wii Sports Basketball. It's good. And 3-point contest being back is absolutely amazing. I'm glad they added it back, and it's as amazing as it was in Resort here. I do like how the game's now 4-player too. I hope eventually they would add a 4v4 game like soccer, but I'm just glad this game turned out the way it did. I had little hope for it when it was announced. I thought they could have butchered it as bad as Wii Sports Boxing. Club Boxing, I'm sorry. Number 3, Air Sports. I never understood what made this game so special until I finally decided to replay it, and wow. Oh my god. The running and cycling games in Wii Fit let you explore Woohoo Island and were often my favorites in this game, so I always wondered why I never really gave this one a shot. And the fact that you have such a limited time to do so, it makes exploring in the little amount of time to do it more special, taking in everything that made Woohoo Island so special in the first place. Skydiving's fun too. No reason to replay it after the beginning intro, but I still think that beginning intro is absolutely unmatched. It's so good. How the fuck they do it? Number 2, Swordplay. I know this is many people's favorite sport, and there's really no contest. The single-player duel mode is super tough, and strategizing when to strike is super challenging, and makes each time you actually get a hit in super satisfying. Those later matches that get so damn challenging and throwing in, making it up to Matt and finally beating him is super rewarding, and it's such a damn good feeling when it's done. Speed Slice is the least enjoyable out of all of them, but it's still a good time. I think Swordplay is also like one of the most replayable sports in the entire package, like, dude. And my favorite sport in the entire series, number 1, basketball. Basketball in Resort is near fucking perfection. It takes a sport that shovelware devs just couldn't get right and simplifies it to be easy for casual grandmas and kids, but so damn fun for more core gaming. It took normal basketball and simplified it to be played with a singular Wiimote with simple button pressing for passing, simple dribbling motions for dribbling and keeping the ball away, simple swipe motions to try and steal, and of course flicking the Wiimote like shooting a ball to shoot the ball. And the 3-point contest too, oh my god, is it so good. It's like bowling where finding the right throw gives you that perfect game, but I think this one's a bit more challenging because you have to find out how to approach each section of the court. It's simpler than I make it sound, but trust me, throwing it the same way on the left side than the right side, it won't get you the same result. Trust me, I'm like the Larry Bird of Wii Sports. You want to hear me? I'm glad Switch Sports doesn't make a joke out of the greatest Wii sport to ever sport. Basketball gets a gold star. If it was playing Wii Play, it'd have a platinum medal. So there's the list. Thoughts? Concerns? I'd be concerned. Why? Well, because I put Switch Basketball over Wii Bowling. If that's not concerning, I don't know what is. Anyway, bye guys. I'll see you at work Monday.